Good evening, everybody. What's happening? What's going on? This your girl Tiffany coming through here live in effect. Tonight, you see the title. We gotta have this conversation, man, because it's like there's like this debate about this particular subject. So on social media, there was a video circulating where a woman recorded the conversation between her and her mother. And her mother told her she could not stay in the house because she's a lesbian. Well, basically, she told her she couldn't have the girlfriend stay in the house. Her mother would not accept that. Her mother would not allow her to have the girlfriend in the house. So the girl is upset that her mother told her that, because she can't have her girlfriend around. So she upset with her mama about that. And her mama gave a reason why she won't let the girlfriend stay in the house. She basically told her, look, I want you to be in a relationship with a man. I prefer for you to have a man in the house. If you're I prefer for you to have a male. I cannot accept the fact that you are dating a woman and you bring her into my home and y'all doing whatever. So the video is on social media. As a matter of fact, I am going to play it. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. All right? Here it goes.
You damn right. You damn
Well,
right.
Ma, how does that work?
It works just fine for me. Okay?
So she wants to put me out of her house.
Yes, you gonna get the stepping if you don't get you a man come up in here and create me a baby.
So then what am I supposed to do, Mom? You want me out the house because of who I'm dating?
Yes, I do.
And then what am I supposed to do?
You do what you want to do when you out my house, but long as you in my house, you gonna have a decent relationship.
But the thing
this
is,
come
Mom,
from the old school, baby. The old school. What I'm talking about is a man and a woman procreate and they have babies, not a woman and a woman. Okay? Y'all can't have babies together. Don't you understand?
But she is a better partner than I've ever had in my entire life. But I'm supposed to be with somebody that I don't want. But
not by my book.
She has treated me the best that I've ever had in my whole life, Mom. But you want me to go and settle and be with somebody that I don't love. That's what you prefer.
Guess what? You gotta grow to love people. Okay, you gotta get to know the person. Okay. All right, you didn't even get no man no chance.
All right.
You damn right. You damn
well,
right.
Mom, how does that work?
It works just fine for me. Okay.
So she.
Now, in my opinion, I don't think she should be recording the conversation between her and her mother. I kind of hate when people do that. When they record anything confrontational with their loved ones, their family member, they got to put it on social media. Everything don't have to be on social media. That's a conversation that should have been had behind closed doors. All right. Now, I will say this. The mother can't control who her daughter choose to date or choose to be in a relationship with. She can't control that. She can't really make that decision for her because her daughter is of age and she can make her own decision. She can decide who she wants to be with. However, the mother does have a right to tell her that you can't bring whoever you want into her home. And the mother stated her reason. Now, whether many people like it or not, I mean, to me, it is a valid reason. It's logical and it's true. Two women cannot procreate. Two men cannot procreate. It takes a man and a woman to procreate. Obviously the mother wants grandchildren. But the daughter said This is the part that the daughter said. She said her partner makes her happy. Her partner makes her feel special or something. And this is where I stand on that position. Well, if you tell your mother that you think that your partner makes you feel special or makes you feel happy or whatever the case may be, then you need to go with that partner. Y'all need to find y'all place to stay. Y'all need to do something. And then the mother said, well, you haven't given men a chance. You know, you got to grow to love people. And that's true. You do have to grow to love people at times. But at the same time, this is your daughter's decision. This is her choice. This is what she wants to do. You know what I'm saying? But one thing we must understand, you can't force your parents to accept or agree with your lifestyle. You can't. You can't force them to do so. Your parents have a right to their disagreement. Your parents have a right to not accept how you living. And your parents also have the right to tell you that certain things will not be tolerated in the home. If you live under your parents' roof, right, they're going to have rules and guidelines. They're going to have rules and guidelines that you're not going to like. You might have your parents tell you don't come in the house at 4 o'clock in the morning unless you're coming from work. And that's valid because they don't want the in and out activity taking place unless you're coming in from work. But they don't want you being out at 4 o'clock in the morning and then you coming in whenever you want to. Now, if you're going to stay out at 4 o'clock, you need to stay where you at. And when she says she's an old school parent, she's old school. I have a parent that's like that. You know what I'm saying? My father is like that. My father would tell you what he's going to tolerate or what he's not going to accept in his home. That's just the rules. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it. That's just like if you decide to be a prostitute, right? Your parents ain't got to tolerate you prostituting in their house. They're not going to accept that. They're not going to let you have whoever you want coming in and out the house. They feel like this. You grown. If you want to prostitute, you can go out there and prostitute, right? Or if you decide to be a transgender. And that's another thing. People make argument and debates about, oh, parents should accept their children as being transgender, etc., and call them by their pronouns. No, they don't. They shouldn't have to. They should not be forced to call their kids by their pronouns they want to be called. Especially your mother. If your mother, first of all, your mama gave birth to you. Your mama know what came out of her vagina. She know what your gender looks like. She know what's on that birth certificate. And I personally believe that's disrespectful. To tell your own mama that don't refer to me as your son or your daughter, refer to me as another gender. I think that's disrespectful. It's highly disrespectful to the parents. And even to the grandparents. It's disrespectful to them. You know, whoever raised you, it's disrespectful for you to tell them they gotta call you by another gender. That's just how I feel about it. That's my look on it. Because that's forcing them to accept that lifestyle, and that's bringing confusion onto them. And it is. And whether people want to deal with that or not, you can argue about it, you get mad about it, but that brings about confusion in the family. Because all your life you grew up being this gender. Now all of a sudden you go through the transition, everybody got to call you by that particular gender. And that's not fair. But same way with being a homosexual or lesbian. Yeah, your parents got to respect the fact that you can make your own decision and who you choose to be with. But at the same time, you can't force them to let your girlfriend or boyfriend live in the house because you are a lesbian or you're a homosexual. You can't do that. You can't just throw it in their face like that. So again, I understand the mother's position and she has that right. And I know the daughter feels some kind of way. I know that it's very disappointing to her. But She has to realize that you don't control your mama household. You don't control your mama house. You can't run your mama's house. You cannot run your mama's house. Your mama pays that bill. She pays all those bills in the house. She pays the rent or the mortgage or whatever. So she has the right to enforce certain rules in the house. She has the right to say what she's going to tolerate and what she's not going to tolerate. I mean, she has that right. You know, but I think it's not fair and it's not right to record that conversation that you had with your parent and put it on social media so people can give about commentaries and, you know, people can start attacking you or whatnot, because what it seems like she's trying to make her mother out to be the vindictive person because she won't allow her to have her way in her home. And that's not right. That's not fair. If you really want to have a conversation, you should have that conversation behind closed doors. You know, but you should respect your mother enough to not put her on blast on social media. You shouldn't put your mother on blast. You don't have to, y'all don't have to agree on everything, but have that conversation privately. Because all you're going to do is embarrass yourself. Don't put your mama on blast. Don't disrespect your mama out in the public. That's just how I feel about it. And stop trying to force your parents to accept your lifestyle and agree with your lifestyle. Stop doing that. Your parents don't have to agree with everything you do. Your parents don't even have to accept everything you do. They don't. No matter how you try to argue things up and down, they your parents. They gave birth to you. They brought you into this world. They brought you into this world, so they don't have to agree with everything. Now, they cannot interfere. They cannot go and control who you with and what you do outside their home. They can't do that. They can't tell you who you can date and who you can have a relationship with. They can't control that aspect of your life. That is your choice. But you don't have to. But at the same time, you cannot force them to accept it. You cannot force them to agree. You can't force them to do anything. You can't. I mean, your parents don't have to accept your lifestyle. Your parents don't have to agree with your lifestyle. And now people want to try to criminalize the parents for having their disagreement or being vocal about certain issues, especially when it comes to children. Parents getting criticized, demoralized, antagonized for having their point of view, for being vocal about certain things, for, you know, speaking on what they're not going to tolerate in their home. You know, some of these parents, they are being looked at as bad individuals. Oh, you got people saying, oh, you're a bad parent, you don't love your child. It's not that they don't love their child, they just don't agree with what their children doing. Cut that mess out. Stop being so quick to saying that a parent don't love their child or children because they don't agree with the lifestyle. They don't agree or accept the things that their kids are doing. Stop doing it. Stop making these parents feel guilty for being parents. Just like if a father was raising his son, right? And he see that his son start carrying a lot of feminine characteristics, start acting like a female or whatnot. You cannot get upset with the father for feeling some kind of way about that. Because after all, he didn't raise his son to be that way. He wanted his son to be the man that he needs to be. He trying to prepare him for the world as a man, not prepare him in the world as a female. He was trying to prepare him to show him the things that he need to know and understand. He need to recognize as being a man and what comes with the territory. But there are people that will demoralize a man for saying that he do not want to accept his son being homosexual. although he know that he can't do anything about it, but people will try to demoralize him for having his disagreement, or not wanting to accept that. You got people saying, well, you need to accept your kids for who they are. You just can't, you can't have your disagreement. You can't say anything. You need just accept your kids. Love your kids. I mean, let me tell you something. You can love your child and still tell them how you feel and be honest with them. That don't take away your love as a parent. You gonna always love your children, but you can be honest with them, be straight up with them. So what you want these parents to do? You want these parents to sit there and lie to their kids all the time and pretend like they really support everything? No, that's not how the world works. You're not going to support everything that everybody do. You're not going to support everything, especially when it comes to your kids. You're not. That's not the way of the world. And you can't force that on them. And so with the mother, she cannot, I understand what the mother's position is, and I agree with what she's saying. But she got to realize her daughter is grown. You can't make that decision for your daughter. That was her choice. But she has the right to tell her that that won't be tolerated in my home. She has that right. She has the right to tell her that. And y'all might think, oh, she sound crazy. She talking crazy. She sound like a religious person or something. You don't have to be religious to speak logic. You don't. You don't have to be religious to have a logic. You don't have to be religious to have your views and express your disagreement about something. You don't have to be that. So again, stop forcing your parents to agree with your lifestyle. Stop forcing your parents to accept everything you do, because they don't have to. They are your parents. They don't have to accept or agree with everything you do. They don't. And that's their right. You cannot be upset with them. So with this young lady, I hope that everything goes well with her. I hope that she able to try to have the conversation with her mom, and they could be able to talk things out and be able to hear each other out, you know what I'm saying, without resort to a lot of anger, chaos, or having bad relationships. But what the daughter has to also understand that she cannot control the rules in her mother's house. She cannot regulate what her mama say in the house. Her mother has that right to enforce those rules, regardless how she feels. Her mother has those rights. That's her home. That is her home. She paid those bills. She has those rights to say who can come into the house and who cannot come over. Period. Now if she have her own place, she can do what she like. She can do it how she wants to. But while you living under your parents, there's rules and guidelines that you have to follow. There's going to be disagreements, and it is what it is. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. If you guys want to comment at the bottom of the video, please do so. You can share your thoughts in your comments, and I'll take a look at them and give my response to them. Okay? And also make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Share the channel. Share the videos if you like. Also check out all my previous videos. Okay? But I just want to come on here and express that to you guys. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening. May peace and power elevation be to all of you. This your girl Tiffany, and I'm logging off. Deuces.